45 years old, broke, homeless, and 3 years into a 5-year Chapter 13 bankruptcy plan. My name is Tristan, and this is the Reset Project, from rock bottom. Before I explain how I ended up here, let me tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm a recovering addict with 9 years clean. When I first got clean, my credit score was about 435. Not because I was reckless or had bad credit, but at the time I had what's called a thin file. Basically, the credit bureaus said, "We don't know you. There's not enough information for us to make a decision on you." So I started teaching myself about credit, and within about a year, I raised my credit score to the mid 600s. Eventually I hit the highest. At the highest, it was like 751. At the same time, my career was climbing. I was getting raises on the job. So I went from making like 30, 40K a year to around 60K. And this was pre-COVID. And that was a good income here in the South, where the cost of living is lower. And for the first time, I felt like I was living the American dream. But the truth is, I didn't understand money. I didn't understand what credit was really supposed to be used for. And fresh out of addiction, I didn't even have a clear plan for my life. Then COVID hit, and don't get me wrong, COVID was horrible. But there was a lot of money flowing during COVID. And me and my family were recipients of some of that money. It was DoorDash every night, closets stacked with snacks and toilet paper. Y'all remember COVID. And then, like a lot of people, I had time to reflect. I didn't want to be a part of the working for someone else for the rest of my life culture. So I started chasing business ideas. And I ran up a lot of debt trying to get those businesses off the ground. And when those businesses failed, the debt stayed behind. Add the inflation that all that stimulus added to the products we buy every day, and I was in trouble. Then tragedy hit. My baby sister passed, and she had no life insurance, left behind 6 kids. And if there's no insurance, you either go into debt to let your or you let your loved one go without dignity, and that's not an option. So I took out some high interest loans to cover it. 2 of her boys came to live with me, so add that to my daughter, her mother, and me. It was 5 people in a small 2-bedroom apartment. So I rented a 3-bedroom house. More comfortable, but way more expensive. I told myself, you'll figure it out. Instead, I started using debt to pay debt. I was working full-time, doing gig apps. I was selling POD on Etsy, paying utilities with credit cards, anything I could think of to stay afloat. But really, all I was doing was treading water. Eventually, I filed Chapter 13 bankruptcy to try to get some relief. And at first it worked. My debt was consolidated into 1 weekly payment, and I had just enough left over with gig work to survive. But about a year into my bankruptcy, my job closed. They announced that we're going out of business. The income my Chapter 13 plan was built on vanished, and my new job paid barely half of what I was making. Now, I wasn't treading water anymore, I was drowning. So I kept pushing through until one morning doing Amazon Flex, I hurt myself. And in that moment, my life flashed before my eyes. If I couldn't work even for a day, I was done. I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck. I was living dollar to dollar. So my lease had expired months before that, and the landlord had been after me to renew it, and I knew I couldn't afford to do it. One of my nephews had went off to college, and the other nephew went to live with his father. My daughter and her mother went to live with my daughter's grandfather, and I had no choice but to move out. So today, I can't get another place. My bankruptcy trashed my credit. Unpaid utilities left even more negative marks. And I still got almost 2 years left in Chapter 13. I've been through addiction, and that was hard. But back then, I didn't have anything to lose. This, bankruptcy, layoffs, homelessness, this has been the hardest fight of my life. I've almost lost everything. I've been laid off twice. I've watched so-called friends and family disappear when I was down. But I'm still here, and I'm not done fighting. And here's the truth, I'm not the only one. Right now, about 1 in 8 Americans, read this stat the other day, are behind on credit cards. Millions are behind on student loans again. And more than 80% of workers are carrying personal debt. And it's about to get worse, because safety nets like SNAP and Section 8 vouchers, they're being cut, and they're becoming harder to qualify for. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I started the Reset Project. Because the only way forward is to make changes now to adjust how we live in order to survive and rebuild. So this is my story. This is my journey through the same struggle, and I want to show what it really looks like in real time to fight to reset, rebuild, and rise. That's why I started this channel. I'm on a razor-thin budget. My credit still needs work, even while in bankruptcy. But I want to show you step by step how I fight my way back. My testimony isn't just for me. I hope it helps someone else facing debt, bankruptcy, or just the weight of the consumer lifestyle. There's a way out, and my Reset Project is going to be the blueprint. So hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss this journey. If you're struggling with debt, or you just want to get out of the consumer matrix, drop your story in the comments. Let's support each other. Let's create a movement around freedom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.